Okay, let's start with our introduction now. Our course is the course M130. As you know, the course is the probability and statistic. Mostly we will cover the probability part in this course. Just chapter 1 we will take a little bit of the statistic. The course contents are as following. In chapter 1 we will cover introduction to statistics and the data analysis. Chapter 2 we will discuss the probability. You will see that the midterm cover chapter 1 and chapter 2. The MTA is chapter 3. We will cover what we call the random variable and the probability distribution of the random variable. In number 4 we will talk about mathematical expectation. In chapter 5 we will talk about examples of some important types of discrete probability distributions. In chapter 6 we will talk about some continuous probability distribution. So my voice was clear, everything is okay? Then I'm gonna start in the chapter 1. Stop me if any problem, please. Okay, good. In chapter 1 we will talk about introduction of statistics and data analysis. Those are the sections that we are covering from this chapter: 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 and 1.6. The most important part for me is the 1.1, 1.3 and 1.4, where we are going to discuss the measure of location and the measure of the variability. Let's start. First of all, we're going to have an introduction about the definition, the meaning of what we call a statistic. What do I mean when I say I'm making a statistical study? Making a statistic is science of collecting data, organizing then the data, analyzing the data, then interpreting the data that we got. So number 1, we go to a field, we collect a data. Number 2, we organize the data that we collect. In number 3, we will analyze the data. In number 4, we will interpret the result that we got. What does it mean? Let me give you a simple example here. For example, concerning about grades of students in a class. I'm caring about the grades of a student in the class. So I'm going to list grades of the students that I have. After that, I'm going to organize the grades that I got. I'm going to put them in an increasing order, for example. I'm going to put them in a table. In number 3, I'm going to analyze the data that I collect. Analyzing the data means like doing a math on the data that we have, doing calculation, find the mean, find the average, which we call sketching a graph. Sketching a graph also a way to analyze the data that we have. Okay, interpreting the result. Interpret the result يعني تفسير النتائج. Interpret the result يعني once when you are done, you graph, you did the math, you got the result. Now you explain what you got. يعني the grades of the student in this class, for example, are high grades. Or for example, the grades are an average grades of this class. So interpret يعني go back and explain what you got as a result. Now definition number 2 is the definition of data formation that come from observation. يعني you go and observe things and write the data that you got by counting, for example, by measurements. Like the height of a student in the class, age of a student in the class, the weight of the student in the class, or a response. A response means when, for example, taking a questionnaire. Questionnaire يعني استبيان. So I ask people about their satisfaction of a product. Okay, so satisfied or not satisfied. So this is a type of data also that we can collect. Now, when we are doing any statistical study, we go through what we call statistical study stages. We have a stages for any statistical study. As you can see, in number 1, we pose a question. We ask a question. What is this study? What's my aim from this study? In number 2, I go to the field and I collect the data. Now, collecting the data can be in different ways. Sometimes we collect the data from a population, and sometimes we collect the data from a sample. What does it mean? The population is the overall. For example, if I'm talking about the AOU students, okay, say I have 5,000 students here in KSA, for example, just a number I'm saying, okay, so the population is the 5,000 student. And instead of doing the study on the 5,000, I'm gonna take a sample here of 100 students. Instead of the 5,000, I'm gonna do it for like 100 students. The rest of you, what about the voice? You can hear? Hello? Okay, not clear. Okay, if it's not clear, I will need to disconnect them. It's okay now, are you sure? Oh. Okay, the connection, then the connection is not good. I'm gonna explain it back. It's okay, but I want to make sure that you can hear my voice. It's fine. If you are from Jeddah, it's fine. Okay, let me repeat this point again. If not okay, let me know, okay? Okay? Okay, so we have 4 stages of a statistical study. First, pose a question. يعني you ask a question that you need an answer for. Okay. Number 2, collect the data. يعني you go to the field and try to find the information that you need. We have 2 ways here to collect the data. Either we take the data from a population اللي هو ال overall. A sample is a part from the population. Okay, as an example here in the corner I show you an example. If I'm talking about the AOU students, for example, the population, the all AOU students is 5,000 students. A sample is only 100 students out of them. So if, for example, I'm checking the ages of the student in the AOU, instead of asking like 5,000 students, I'm gonna check only with 100 students. If I'm having a questionnaire, for example, استبيان, instead of doing for all the 5,000 students, I'm doing it for a sample. Now, also choosing the sample can be random, okay, or we could have a rule to choose our sample. Random يعني just I will just go and choose any 100 student that I have. When I have a rule, like having a rule, I'm gonna choose 20 from Dammam, 20 from Riyadh, 20 from Jeddah, 20 from Hayel, and 20 from Medina, for example. Okay, so we can have a rule, or it can be random. Or for example, I'm gonna say I'm gonna take 50 male and 50 female students. So choosing a sample also can be random or can has a rule. This is how we collect the data. And number 3, analyze the data. Now, as I told you, analyze the data means do math and sketch graph. Okay. In number 4, we interpret the result. Interpret the result يعني نفسر النتائج. نفسر النتائج يعني you go back to the question number 1 that you put. You go back to point number 1 and answer the question that you put. Your question about the age of the student. So yes, I got that the age of the student is between 25 and 35, for example. Okay, your question is the grades of the students higher, average, or low. You get, yeah, the grades of the student of this class are high, and so on. So interpret the result means go back and answer the question that you asked from the beginning. Okay, so here the 2 points here, we mentioned them already. The 2 techniques that we use to choose our study field. Okay, so my voice is clear now. Can you proceed with the examples? Sarah, did you try to log out and in? Sarah, did you try to log out and in? Sarah, go out and in. Log out and in again. Yeah, I'm opening this one. The noise is from here. Okay. Now it's better, Ahmed? Okay, sorry, the speaker was out. So Sarah, log out and in again, and let's start with our example here. Give me a second. Okay, and let's start with our example. In this example, they are giving you an example of a statistical study. Actually, the example here is a comparative study. Comparative study means I'm comparing between 2 sets of things. So the thing here in this example, if you read the example, you will see that we have 2 sets of plants. Okay, I'm talking about seedling, يعني نبتة صغيرة planted in a greenhouse. I have 2 sets of plants, 10 here and 10 here. I have 10 plants in my first set and 10 plants in my second set. Okay, in the first set I treated them with a nitrogen. The nitrogen that they put with the plants. Okay, they put it when they are growing a plant, and actually the nitrogen helped the plant to grow bigger. In a less time, it helped the plant to grow bigger. Okay, and in the second part, or the second sample that they have, they didn't put a nitrogen, so we have no nitrogen put in at the second set of things that we have, of plants that we have. After 140 days, they will take the weight of the seedling in the sample 1 and in the sample 2. Okay, so as you can see here in the table, with no nitrogen, we have 10 datas. The datas here are the weight of the plant that we have. Okay, so we have 10 plants. For the 10 of them, they took the weight. No nitrogen here treated with the nitrogen. Is that clear? This is an example of a statistical study where they go to the field, collect the data, organize them actually in a table. Okay. Okay, good. Now, ال 140 day just time, this is an experiment. So عندهم seedling اللي هي نباتات صغار. They plant them. After 140 days, they take the weight and they are trying to check now what's going on. What's the idea of this example? What's the idea of this study? The idea is that they want to check whether the weight will be affected with this nitrogen or not. Okay, as I told you, the nitrogen is effective. It makes the weight more. Now they want to prove that. They made this study to prove that. Now by just looking at the table, can we decide whether it is good or not good to treat with the nitrogen? Actually, by just looking at the data like this, it's not possible. How can I know if it is better with the nitrogen or not with the nitrogen? Okay, so the best thing, the best thing to do is to do what we call mathematical study, what we call graphing, what we call statistic here. Okay, so here is the statistic that they did. They plot what we call the dot plot. They graph what we call the dot plot. Now the dot plot is a number line. On the number line we represent the points that we have. First of all, let me remind you about what we call the number line. The number line is a line center at the 0 and the right we have the positive numbers, and to the left we have the negative, of course, in case we need the negative, and it goes to infinity. That's right. What about the others? Samia, you can't hear me. What about the others? You can hear me? Hello? So Samia, look out and in again. Okay, the others can hear me. The problem from your side. Okay, good. So this is what we call the number line. Okay, using the number line we graph what we call the dot plot. In this dot plot, what they are going to do is the following. They are using the letter O to represent the nitrogen, and the X if it is not treated with nitrogen. Okay, just put this in your mind. I'm using the X. So the O represents the weight. If you go back to the table, no nitrogen is 0.32. So here they represent the 0.32 with an X. Now nitrogen we have 0.02. So go here the 0.02. Here the O is my point. They did the same for all the points. They represented everything here in this table on the line with O or X. So by just looking at the graph, you can see that the O's go more to the right. Okay, notice how did they do this line? They need the point something here. Okay, minimum they will need 0.25 line here, 0.25, 0.3, 0.35, 0.4, 0.45 till they reach 0.9. They plotted all the points. I told you the O يعني treated with nitrogen, the X no nitrogen. Here are no nitrogen 0.32, 0.53. So by looking here you can see that the O's bigger. You are growing bigger once you go to the right. Okay, So are bigger. We say most of the O's are bigger, which means nitrogen gives more weight, which means the nitrogen is effective. Okay, so from this study, from this dot plot, I analyzed the data that I have and I decided that yes, using the nitrogen is effective. Can you see? This is what we mean by statistical study. This is what we mean by comparative statistical study. Now, not all the times the dot plot give me a clear idea about the information that I have. We need to have a more accurate thing. So this is our next point now. Do you have any question before I proceed with the points that we have? Any question here? Okay. النيتروجين يعطي وزن. Yeah. So الدراسة هذه والstatistical study show me that the nitrogen is effective and I got the result I'm looking for. Okay? So as I said, not all the times the dot plot give me a clear idea about the information that I have, so we must have a techniques. We have two techniques that we will discuss now, and those two techniques are the most important thing in this chapter. Why? Because in the midterm, in the final, there must be a question that asks you to find what we call measure of location, okay? We have the measure of location, and in two we will talk about the measure of variability. Okay? The measure of location, well, Aya, the problem from your side, what can I do here? I'm not recording the lecture, so I don't know if I can do that. Okay, I'm not talking because I'm not talking. I'm just looking at your talk. Okay, you can record from your side? Okay, good. So first of all, we have the measure of location. Second, we will talk about the measure of variability. The measure of location, we have three types actually of measure of location that we're gonna discuss. Number one, we have the mean, or what we call the X bar. We have the median, number two, which we call X twiddle, and we have the mode also. The measure of location show me the center of the data. Okay, the measure of location show me the center of the data. For example, if we have this ideal type of data, most of the data, as you can see, can you see this curve? It looks like a bell here. This is my XY plan, and here this is my curve. It looks like the bell shape. This is the ideal type of the data that we have of. So here at the center of the data, most of the data center at this point. So this is what we call the X bar, or what we call the mean of the data. Okay, so the mean, the median, and the mode, we will see in details what does each one of them mean. Show me the center of the data. Measure of variability, we will talk about the variance, or what we call S square here. We will talk about the standard deviation, or what we call S, and in number three, we will talk about the range, and in number four, we will talk about what we call the interquartile range, or what we call IQR. Okay, so those are our next points. We will talk about measure of location, then we will talk about the measure of the variability. Okay, so let's start. So here, those are the things that I mentioned. Now the data tends to go to the center of the data. The measure of locations are the mean, the mode, and the median. And the measures of location, the mean, the mode, and the median, we call them the representative of the data. Representative يعني ممثل الداتا. They represent the data that we have. Let's talk first about how to find the simple mean. The simple mean is nothing but the average. Okay, they are nothing but the average. How to find the simple mean? If you have the data x1, x2, and xn, the simple mean is the sum of all the x's divided by n. We add all the x's and we divide by n. What is n? The n is the number of the data that we have. Okay, so let's apply this in an example. Suppose that the following sample represent ages. I'm talking about ages in years of a sample of a 3-man. Now the sample has a 3-man. So what's my n here? What's my n in this example? Can you answer me? What's the n here in this example? It's a 3. That's correct. So I'm talking about 3 students. The first data is 30, correct, thank you. The second data is 35 and 27. So the mean, the average is 30, 35, 27 divided by 3. You will get this is 30.67. Notice that for the mean and the median and those things, we are not rounding the answer, huh? As much as we can, we try to leave at least 1 or 2 decimal places. Okay? اتركوا لي منزلة أو منزلتين على الأقل. لا تقربون لي الجواب to make sure that your answer is accurate. ماشي؟ So this is my X bar done with the solution of this example. Now they are adding a note here. They are trying to show you one thing. Yeah, Muhammad, what's again? Now the mean is just adding the numbers that we have, dividing by how many of them we have. We add 30, 35, 27, we divide by 3. This is what we call the mean. Okay? اتركوا الإجابة بالفواصل. يعني الحين لما يكون مرة طويل you can round it to 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places، بس يعني most of the times try not to round. It makes your answer more accurate. أتكلم عن المين specifically عن المين، لأن later you will see that we are gonna use it to find the standard deviation, to find the variance. فعلى المين at least إذا كان منزلة أو منزلتين don't round it. Yeah, we are doing the note. A note has no relation with the solution. Now here they are just trying to show you one thing. If you add هذه علامة sum، علامة السم هذه، okay? If you add all the xi's يعني x1 x2 and x3 minus ال x bar اللي هي المين that we find which is 30.67. If we add all the results that we got, the answer will be 0, and this is a general thing. This is a general formula for any relation. If you subtract ال xi اللي هي الداتا minus ال x bar اللي هو المين, you add everything, the result will tend to go to the 0. Okay? الملاحظة ان المجموع اللي هو السم للإكس آي اللي هي الداتا، اوكي، minus الإكس بار اللي هي المين، the sum will give me a 0. This happen all the time. يعني 30 minus 30.67, 35 minus 30.67 plus 27 minus 30.67 will give me a 0. This happen all the time. Clear? sum معناها sum مجموع. sum هذه الإشارة هذه معناها sum مجموع يعني. اوكي؟ هذه نوع من التأكد من الحل. ايوه طبعا not all the time الحين لأن عندنا 3 datas we can do it, but in يعني if you have like 10 or 15 data it's not gonna be easy to apply this way. Now there is a good way to check that your answer is correct for the mean. Okay? So if the data, the mean is a representative صح ولا لا؟ It is a representative. representative يعني it represent the data، يمثل الداتا، يعني المين لازم يكون within the data. الداتا هنا 30 35 27 and it is ages وطلع عندي 30.67 يعني صح. طيب what if you forgot to divide by 3 and you remain with 92؟ الداتا 30 و 35 و 27 والجواب 92 يعني غلط. Okay, so your answer is correct if the mean is within the set of the data that you have. يعني جواب معقول انه يكون واحد من الداتا اللي موجودة، يعني مو معقولة انا اتكلم عن ages ويطلع عندي الجواب 100 مثلا. Okay, so لازم الجواب يكون within the range اللي موجود عندي، لأن it's a representative. It is the center of the data. It represents my data, so it should be within the range that I have. Is that clear? Is that clear? Great. Now here they are just trying to show you an example. Do you remember this example, the table of the nitrogen and no nitrogen? They took the part with the nitrogen only. البارت حق النيتروجين of the table. We have 10 datas. They found their mean. Okay? They add all the datas that they have اللي فيها no nitrogen with nitrogen, sorry. and then they divide it by 10, they got the answer. They find out that the answer is 0.565. Okay, so they are trying to show you that it is the center of the data. Can you see how it is kind of centering all the data that we have? Okay, it's the representative of the weight of the stem that we have. It is kind of a center of all the data that we have. Okay, this is just an example. You can find this with more details in your book. It's in the book, page 11. Good. It's all easy. طلع مع الجواب عندنا التيبل اللي فيها النيتروجين ويت، جمع كل النيتروجين ويت divide by that they got. Okay, you can check the answer in the book with more details. Let's go to the measurement number 2 اللي هو الميديان. Number 2 we will talk about and simply say to be the data in the middle. بالضبط الواحد book page 11. على الاديشن اللي عندي it is page 11. I don't know. So the median in the middle, okay, the data that is exactly in the middle. Now since I'm talking about the one in the middle, the data must be arranged to be in order. Okay, what are you talking about? What is 110? What's the total divided by 2? What are you doing? Are you with me? Stay with in one word and then I'm in one other word. Okay, I will complete, but just to stop the side discussion. Let's go ahead now. I'm looking for the data in the middle. I'm trying to find the data in the center. For example, I'm gonna call it the median. First of all, if I have a data x1 to xn, since I'm looking for the data in the middle, I must arrange my data to be in an increasing order. إيش يعني increasing؟ يعني تصاعدي from the lower to the higher one. Okay, then I'm gonna look for the one in the middle. I don't care about this definition here. I'm gonna give you directly an example. If we have the data for 2, 1, 4, 5, 2, 1, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 datas here. I have 7 data, so the number of the data is odd, we say. Okay, I have odd number of data here. So first of all, I'm gonna rearrange the data that I have. So I have 1, 1, and notice that when we have a repeated items, just write them as a repeated items. So we write 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, and 5. I have 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3 to the left, and exactly in the middle I have 1 data. Okay, so this 2 here, I'm gonna call it the median, or what we call x twiddle. So my x twiddle here, we say it's equal to 2. This is the case when we have odd number of data. It's a clear case because exactly you have one in the middle. Now in case we have odd, like here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data. So I have 6 data here. I have even of them. We rearrange them. نعيد ترتيبهم as 1, 2, 2, 4, 4 and 5. I have 3 up and 3. What do I have in the middle exactly? What do you think? Okay, they are even, so I cut them exactly into 2 sets. In the middle, what can I say? What do I have in the middle? We have the 2 and the 4, both of them are in the middle. What should I do in this case? We add the 2 with the 4, we divide by 2, the answer will be 3. I can say this is x twiddle. We take the average of the 2 in the middle. Yeah, we take the average of the 2 that we have in the middle. So this is what we call the median. I want to give you more examples regarding this median. You can use the rule. If you want, you can use the rule. Here, again, they are telling you, if n is odd, you look for the element xn plus 1 over 2. If n is even, I'm looking for half xn over 2 plus xn over xn plus 1 over 2 it should be. Okay, plus 1 over 2. اتفضل سامر. Ask your question. What I'm doing is actually similar to using the rule, no different. But since usually we are talking about a small set of numbers, we can just do it like this. I'm not getting your question. I'm not getting your question. Let me give you more example, okay? Let me give more examples here. For example, let me give example 1 here. For example, if I have, okay Hadil, I'm repeating this with a simple example. If I have the set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, those are and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11. But it's a set of data. How many elements I have? 11. I can say I have 1, 1, 2, 3, and cancel. What remain in the middle was what? 6. Okay. Abdullah بالضبط. What you said is correct. So what's in the middle is the 6. So this is my median twiddle. Give you example 2. If I have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, what's in the middle? It's a 3. So this is my x twiddle. بس لازم النمبers in order من الصغير إلى الكبير. Example 3. What if I have numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? How can I know what do I have in the middle? عندي 3 فوق و3 تحت, in the middle I have 4 and 5. What should I do in this case? 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 What sho نجمع ال 4 مع ال 5 ونقسم على 2. So the result is 4.5. So this is my x twiddle in this case. Okay, correct. بالضبط. Is it clear now? It's important for me to know how to find the median. We're gonna use this again when we talk about the interquartile range. راح ناخذ examples. No, don't worry. راح ناخذ examples زي اللي يجي في الامتحان. Okay? The third thing we will discuss is what we call the mod. Now the mod is said to be the most frequent data. ايش يعني the most frequent data؟ يعني the data that appears or that happen more than the other datas. So for example, here we have this set of data. This is, I can say this is example number 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 7, 9, 0. Which one of the data appear more than the others? Nothing. So I say that I have no mod. In example number 2, the datas are 2, 4, 2, 5, 4, and 2. Which one of the data appear more than the others? You can see that the 2, 2, 2 appear 3 times. So we can say that the mod is 2. Okay? So the mod is the data that happen more than the others. Example number 3, we have the data 2, 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, 4, 7. مش بس يتكرر أكثر من مرة، يتكرر أكثر من الباقي. Okay? عندنا هنا like 2 appear 3 times. Will 4 appear also 3 times. El 5, 7 just 1 time. What do you think? What will be the mod? Actually, the mod is the 2 and the 4 at the same time, because both of them happen like 3 times. Let me give you an example. If I have the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, what's my mod here? بالضبط أكثر عدد تكرر. The 1 is my mod. صحيح. So my mod equal to 1. لا, not the 2, not the 3. The 1 happened 3 times. Okay? So as you can note, in أحيانا we have no mod لأن none of them has an appearance more than the others. Sometimes we have 1 mod, sometimes we have 2 mod, and sometimes we may have 3 mods. It's fine also. Like when we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. What's the mod here? What's the mod here? 1, and the 2, and the 3. Okay, so sometimes we have 3 mods, sometimes 4, sometimes no mod at all, because none of them appear more than the others. Okay, so كده we are done with the 3 types of location measurement: the mean, and the median, and the mod. Next we will go to an example of measure of variability, and after that we will have a full example similar to the one that you will have in the exam. Now we start with the measure of variability. Number 1, we will talk about how to find the sample variance. To find the sample variance, or what we call the S-square. Pay attention to the rule here. It's important to memorize this one. S square is the sum, as I told you, it's the sum. This is how we read it. From I equal 1 to n يعني ال xi تتحرك من x1 x2 x3 لحد xn. هذا معنى السم. Okay, we sum xi minus xi x bar square. ننتبه السم of xi minus x bar بس من غير square equal to what? Do you remember? sum يعني مجموع. كلمة sum معناها مجموع. Do you remember the sum من xi إلى x bar من غير square equal to what? It's equal to 0. So be careful, huh? That was the note at the beginning of the lecture. Okay, تفسيرها. So the square هنا يخلي ما تكون 0. So this is same as x1 minus x bar square plus هذا معنى السم x2 minus x bar square plus xn minus x bar square everything divided by n minus 1. هذا معنى هذه. okay, هذا معنى relation هذه. النوت هذه احنا اخذناها من قبل في السلايد اللي في البداية. السم من غير السكوير 0 لكن because we square it's gonna be a number here, so you must be careful not to forget the square. okay, so this is the sample variance. We will see an example. And the standard deviation, the sample standard deviation or S is nothing but the square root of this S square. يعني once you finish finding the variance جيبوا لها ال square root. The square root is what we call the standard deviation. It's the S. okay, clear? Let's see an example. Okay. Compute here the sample variance and the standard deviation of the following observation. Just a second, please. Give me a second. No, I'm back. It's not a break. I just needed a second. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the example. Compute the sample variance and the standard deviation of the following observations, ages in year. So this is an example of things that can come in the exam. The data are 10, 21, 33, 53 and 54. They want me to find the variance اللي هي S squared. They want me to find the standard deviation which is S. First of all, how many data I have? I have 5 of them. So I put in my mind that my N is equal to 5. They want the variance, so I know that the variance is nothing but the sum of all xi minus the x bar, and then we square, then we divide by n minus 1. مطلوب compute the sample variance and the standard deviation. مطلوب الفاريانس اللي هي s square و standard deviation of the following observations ومعطيني الداتا 10, 21, 33, 53 and 54. Okay. اوكي. المفروض ان انا اعرف الرول واطبق فيها. That's it. How many data عندي؟ 5. So my n is 5 and this is my rule. طيب الرول inside the rule I will need x bar. So حتى لو ما طلب من عندي I need to find the x bar اللي هي الافريج اللي هي المين. So x bar is the sum of all the data divided by 5 as you can see here. Okay? So 10, 21, 33, 53 and 54 divided by 5. 175 over 5. The answer is 34.2. Always and always once you find the mean check the answer within the range ولا لا. 21 33 53 54 والافريج طلع عندي 34 يعني النمبر طبيعي within the normal. مو معقولة يطلع مثلا 100. Okay. So the answer is 34.2 and notice إنه we are not rounding. ما قربنا. It's 34.2 to one decimal place. We leave it to one decimal place here. Then we start applying and putting the things in the formula of the variance. Each one of the data minus x bar اللي هي 34.2. 21 شايفين معي هنا I'm here. 21 minus 34.2 square 33 minus 34.2 square 53 minus 34.2 square. يعني المين لا تقربونها. Okay. في الأخير once you are done with s square you can round. آخر جواب في الاس سكوير وآخر جواب في الاس ممكن نقرب. المين لا. إلا إذا مثلا كانت 5 منازل فمرة complicated قربوها بس usually حتى لو كان فيها منزلة راح تكون واحدة. Okay. So as much as we can ما نقرب. بالذات في المين لأن راح يأثر لي في الجواب زي ما انتم شايفين. Okay. 10 minus 34.2 square نجيبها ونربع الأجوبة divided by n minus 1 اللي هي 5 minus 1 which is 4 ونحسب الناتج ونقسم على 4. يعني لو 5 منازل قربوا المنزلتين. اوكي. لو 5 منازل قربوا المنزلتين. المين اللي هو المتوسط. محمد المين اللي هو الاكس بار هذا هو المتوسط. لا انتوا تفهمون بالمقلوب كذا. انا قلت ما نقرب اللي بعد الفاصلة. سامر انا قلت ما نقرب الا في حال كان منازل طويلة صعب التعامل معاها. لكن عادة ما نقرب حتى منزلتين 3 منازل ما نقرب عشان الجواب في الفاريانس والستاندرد ديفيشن يكون دقيق. متى نقرب؟ لما نوصل في النهاية زي كذا لما خلاص انا جبت الاس سكوير وجبت الاس وحابة اني اقرب واز ماتش از يو كان لا تقربون لي. اوكي. واضحة؟ واضح كلامي؟ في الأخير لكن مش المين لا تقربون لي. المين نحاول ما يعني الحين إنه مش مشكلة كبيرة التقريب. It's not a big problem. Even if you round, the answer will be a little bit different, but still I'm gonna count it if the steps are correct, huh? I'm still gonna count it, but I'm talking about what if the question was a multiple choice question, right? If the question is a multiple choice, you round the mean, the standard deviation gonna be wrong. You will not be able to find the standard deviation within the answers that you have. Okay. فانتبهوا للبوينت هذه. Now the next example, I want you to pay attention to the next example. Now this one is similar actually to the things that comes in the midterm and in the final. They will give you a full question. In the question you have a data. Part I, as you can see here, they are asking for the mean, the mode and the median. In the part B they are asking you to find the standard deviation اللي هي S. فأكيد you will need to find S square. So everything here is covered. Everything that we did till now is covered, and this comes in the exam. So I'm having a sample of 10 students. So what's my N? Can somebody tell me what's my N here? What's my N, please? It's 10, Where's my N? The datas are 40, 42, 35, 54, 57, and so on. Now they want me to find الميديان. إذا أبغى أجيب الميديان first. Yeah, you are correct, Abdullah. This is the... No, you are not correct. What are those numbers that you are writing? When we have something repeated, it is repeated, Abdullah? What you wrote is wrong. 57 is repeated 1, 2 times. Now we have the 40, the 54 repeated, so it's just still counted. You need to write it. Now first we need to order our data. Why do we need to order our data? لأن they want the median هنا. Order the data from the least to the highest, and be careful that even if it is repeated, I'm writing it 2 times, 3 times. Can you see? So rearrange or reorder the data that you have. Find the mean, which is the sum of all the data that we have, the 10 of them divided by 10, you get the answer for 48.1. So this is my mean. Now the mod is the most frequent, يعني that appear, that happen more than the others. What do you think? Which one of them appear more than the others? The 54, that's right. It's appearing like 3 times here. So my mod is 54. Now my median is the one in the middle. I have 10. يعني 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. What do I have in the middle? شايفين؟ I have 46 and 54, so my median, the equidal, is 46 plus 54 over 2. That's correct. But now we add them and then we divide by 2. Correct. So the answer is 50 here. The median is 50. We remain with part 2. Compute the standard deviation. نحسب the standard deviation. The standard deviation is nothing but the square root of s square, but the sum of xi minus x bar square divided by minus 1. We apply the rule. N is 9, so we can say divided by 9 or multiplied with 1 over 9. It's the same, So it's a square root of ننتبه إنه we are subtracting المين مش الميديان. المين اللي هو 48.1. I saw a lot of mistakes in this point. Subtract the mean, not the median. So the mean 48 minus 1 is subtracted from each one of the 10 datas that we have, and then we are squaring, and everything needs to be divided by 9. ممكن نقول 1 over 9 or ممكن نقول everything divided by 9. Find the calculations here, get the answer, divide by 9, find the square root, this will give you the standard deviation. Let me tell you a good news, the calculator is allowed in the exam. Okay, the calculator is allowed in the exam, so you can use the calculator. You can learn from the internet, from the YouTube, how to use the calculator to find those things, if you search in the Google about how to find the standard deviation using the calculator, you will find things that help you. It will not be a big deal how to find this standard deviation. Okay, again the standard deviation is the square root of the variance اللي هو السم اللي احنا عارفينه divided by n minus 1. السم يعني كل واحدة من الداتا minus المين، كل واحدة من الداتا minus المين، بعدين square، بعدين plus in between them. شايفين؟ everything divided by n minus 1. n minus 1 here is the 9. okay. Sarah, you still have a question? S square يعني ما راح يكون فيها جذر. الستاندرد ديفيشن الاس نوت للاس سكوير فلازم جذر. والناين اللي هي ال n minus 1. الناين اللي هي ال n minus 1. اوكي. ايوه طبعا لازم تحطها تحت الجذر، لازم. طيب اذا حاب تجيب اس سكوير بعدين تجيب الجذر اتس فاين. ممكن تجيبها لحالها بعدين تجيب الجذر اتس فاين. اتس فاين. تقدر تجيب اول اس سكوير، ممكن في البداية find اس سكوير بعدين تجيب جذر الاس سكوير وتقول هذه اس. اتس فاين. ممكن تسوي بخطوتين. اتس اوكي. بالضبط ممكن تحسبهم بعدين الجذر. اتس اوكي. بس ننتبه ان what do they want in the question? They want the variance or they want the standard deviation. okay, لان ممكن it could be multiple choice question. فالmultiple choice you must be careful. يبغى ال variance ولا ال standard deviation. okay. الفاريانس من غير الجذر، الستاندرد ديفيشن بالكسر بالجذر. من غير جذر بيقول الفاريانس find me the variance بس. they will say find the variance. الفاريانس من غير الجذر. لو قال find variance no root، لو قال find standard deviation, use root. Clear now? Is it clear now? Okay, good. Now the next thing we're gonna do is comparing. Remember this sheet when we talk about measure of variability? We are done with the variance. We are done with the standard deviation. And now we will talk about the range and the interquartile range. Can you stay with me, please? Can you pay me attention here? The range defined to be the maximum minus the minimum. The range defined to be the maximum minus the minimum, okay? And the interquartile range, for comparing, we will talk about the range and we will talk about interquartile range, okay? So the range is defined to be maximum minus minimum. The interquartile range defined to be Q3 minus Q1. Now the Q1 is defined to be the median of the lower half of the data. And the Q3 is defined to be the median of the upper half of the data. What does this mean? What does this mean? Let's see here. If you have a set of a data, for this set of data you have a minimum and you have a maximum, right? In the middle, as we learned, we can find the median. Okay. Okay, so we have minimum, we have a maximum, in the middle we know that we have the median. It cut the data into two parts. Here, this part we call it the upper part, and this part we call it the lower part. The least part is the lower part, the bigger one is the upper part. For the lower part, we have something in the middle. This is what we call Q1. For the upper part, we have 1 in the middle, and this is what we call Q3. Again, I'm talking about set of data. For this set of data, I have minimum, I have a maximum, and I have the median that is in the middle. The median cut things into two parts. Upper part to my right and a lower part to my left. For the lower part, I have something in the middle. I'm calling it Q1. I'm gonna tell you why not Q2, and to the right I have the Q3. Now the one in the middle, اللي هو الميديان, I'm calling it Q2. This is why I'm not using Q2, because the median is what I'm calling Q2. Okay? So now, joining Q1 and Q3 to make a box, this is what we call the box plot of the data that we have. Now, this is how we will see, how we will learn how to do the box plot. Minimum, maximum, median in the middle, Q1 the middle of the lower, Q3 is the median of the upper. This is what we call the box plot. Now let me give you an example. Let me give you a simple example here. I have example 1. Again, I give you the set of the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I have 11 data. What is the middle of here? What's the middle of the data here? Can you tell me what's the middle of my data? بالضبط. أنا عندي 11 data. في النص عندي 6. This is my upper part. This is my lower part. So I can say this is my Q2. This 9 is what now? The middle of the upper is my Q3. What's my Q1? The middle of the lower. This is my Q1. Yeah, that's correct. What's my minimum here? 1. What's my maximum? 11. So to do the box plot, the minimum is 1, the maximum is 11, the middle here is 6, here I have 9, and here we have 3. We can complete a box here. So this is the box plot that represent this example. Can you see? Easy, right? So this is the box plot that we have. Now in this case I have odd number of data, صح? Odd data I have. Let's see an example when we have an even number of data. Okay? Let's take example 2 here. طبعا the data must be ordered, صح? I'm talking about the median, I'm talking about the middle of the lower, the middle of the upper, so they must be in order. Now what if I have this set of the data? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. I have 10 data. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. What's my median here? Five and 6. So my Q2 is 5 and 6 over 2, correct, which is 5.5. Now, in case of even number of data, okay, of even number of data, no need to isolate anything. ما عندي شيء أعزله، صح ولا لا؟ أنا بالضبط عندي البيانات has two parts, has upper and has a lower بس، okay؟ ما في شيء to isolate. ننتبه في الإكزامبل لما كان عندي odd number of data الستة isolated والupper والlower هنا. اوكي لكن في الاكزامبل لما كان عندي الحين even number of data nothing to isolate، ما عندي شيء افصله، فعندي lower وعندي upper. Now this is my Q2. What's my Q1? What's my Q1 here? Yeah. No, not 2 and 3. It's no. Be careful. اللور عندي 1 2 3 و4 و5. ايش اللي في النص عندهم؟ 3. So this is my Q1. What about the upper here? We have 6, 7, 8 and 9. What's exactly in the middle? It is 8. So this is my Q3. So we can do the box plot here. The minimum is 1, the maximum is 10. In the middle عندنا 5.5, والlower is 3, والupper is 8. صحيح. Q3 is 8. صحيح. So join them in a box. So this is my box plot. clear now? Okay. Let's have one more example. I want to show you one more example here. Example 3. And you can expect a lot of this for multiple choice question. We have the set of the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Think about it. What's a Q1? What's a Q2? What's a Q3? Yalla, think about it. I'm gonna give you a time. Done right. Stop, think about it, and let me know what's your Q1, what's your Q2, what's your Q3. Always students, when we are taking M130 class, make sure to have a paper and a pencil with you. I want you to do some side, I want you to do calculations by yourself sometimes, okay? Wrong. Q1 is not 2. No. Q1 is not 2. See? You're not getting me. هذا example 3 سامر ها؟ هذا example 3. ما سوينا شيء في example 3 بس I'm putting the number, I'm asking you to find. يلا double. No, Q1 is not 2. No. خلاص, wait, let me do it. This is the lower, صح? Just wait, stop. Yeah, Taima, you are correct about Q1. This is the upper, صح? This is the lower. Upper, what do I have in the middle? I have 2 and 3 in the middle, so the Q1 is 2 and 3 over 2 اللي هي 2.5. Okay? Q3, the median of the upper. What's the median of the upper? No, Basma, you are still saying the Q1 is 2. No, this is wrong. 6 and 7. It must be 6 and 7. Yeah. 6 and 7. Q3, it is 6 and 7 over 2, which is 6.5. What's the Q2 now? What's the Q2? صحيح. Now, what's the Q2? Yeah, it is 4 and 5 over 2, which is 4.5 here. That's correct now. Let me give you one more example. What's a Q1? What's a Q2? What's a Q3? This is the upper and this is the lower. Okay? Correct. ممتاز. So Q1 is 2. Q3 is 5 and Q2 is 3 and 4 over 2, correct, which is equal to 3.5. بالضبط وجدان بالضبط. البوينت انه يكون عندي upper و lower. لما يكون عندي odd number I need to isolate. لازم اعزل ال Q2. لازم ينعزل عشان يكون عندي upper و lower. خليني أوريكم example. لما يكون عندي for example عندي datas 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. وين الأبر واللور؟ اللور 1 2 3 والأبر 5 6 7. ما أقدر أسوي أبر ولور إذا ما سويت isolation للفور، صح؟ فلما يكون عندي odd data we have isolation of a data. في واحد راح يطلع من الحسبة. لكن لما even أنا بالضبط أقدر أقصها إلى نصين lower و upper. هذا البوينت اللي عندنا إياه. This is our point. Okay? Okay, good. بالضبط. يعني هنا ال Q1 كم؟ وكم ال Q2؟ وكم ال Q3؟ 2 وال Q2 4 وال Q3 6. واضحة الidea؟ Is it clear now? Okay. طيب الرانج is the maximum minus the minimum, and the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. ننتبه للفرق ما بينهم. الرانج مو نفس الانتركوارتل رانج. الماكسيموم minus المينيموم هنا كم؟ 7 minus 1 equal to 6. وال Q3 minus Q1 6 minus 2 equal to 4. Clear? الرينج بس الماكسيمم أعلى قيمة ماينس المينيمم اللي هي أقل قيمة. وين الماكسيمم؟ 7. وين المينيمم؟ 1. 7 minus 1 equal to 6. Okay? So Samir, next time try to do something with your connection, Clearly that your connection is not good. Either you change it or you can attend from the university campus. You can go there. From what branch you are? You are from Dammam? Samir, you are from Dammam? What branch you are? What's your branch? Riyadh. So I don't know, try to check if come on. Try to check if in Riyadh they have a better connection there or they are open at this time. Please boys, be professional please, Be professional here. He's facing a problem and we shouldn't laugh about it. He's facing a problem when I don't find this funny. I know, but he's facing a problem. So let's go back to our slide. Let's go back to our slide. We explained this one very well. This is a quick example here that we have in the slide. I think the idea is very clear. The most important thing that you need to check that the data are organized. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data as my lower, and same thing I have 6 data as my upper. In blue they put the lower and in green they put the upper data. The minimum is 4, the maximum is 29. Now what's Q1? What's Q1? It's the average of the two in the middle. So 6 and 6 over 2 equal to 6, correct? And the average of the 2 in the middle of the upper here, it is 16 and 20 over 2, which is 18. And the median, they didn't write it clearly. The median is what? What do you think? What's the median here? It's 11 and 12 over 2, so it's 11 and a half. Okay. So this is the box plot. Minimum here. The maximum go here. The Q1 here. The Q3. And here's my Q2 اللي هو الإكس twiddle, which is the median. Clear? Is it clear now? Okay, great. The last example for today, I'm having a table here that shows the gross weekly earning for a group of 20 actors in a theater. We have 9 women, okay, and we have 11 men. The table here show me the earning, the money that they are earning each 1 week. The question is, in A, draw an accurate diagram. Again, this could be similar to the things that you can get in the exam, because I saw questions where they give them the data in a table. And from here, they ask you to find the mean, they ask you to find the median, they ask you to find whatever, okay? So here are the data of the women, as you can see, and here are the data of the men. In A, draw an accurate diagram of the box plot. So they want me to do the box plot for both sets, the women and the men. Then they are asking you to interpret the result that you are getting. What do this box plot tell you about relative earning of male and female actress? Okay. So let's work together to find the answers here. If I'm talking about the women, and here I'm gonna do it for the men. So for the women, what's the minimum? And what's the maximum? What's the Q1? What's the Q2? And what's the Q3? First of all, I need to check that the data are ordered, and good thing that already they are ordered here. Can you see? Already the data are from the smaller to the highest. So the minimum correct here is 2 to 1. The maximum is 510, correct. And what's the Q1? I have 9 of them. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4 and isolate, and 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my lower here, and here I have my upper. Look with me here, huh? So we decided that this is my upper, this is my lower. In the middle, correct, I have 272 and 334 divided by 2, and my Q2 of course is what? 372, and my Q3 is 415 plus 456 over 2, correct. Now what about the men? Correct. What about the men? What's my minimum? The men, please. Yeah, the men. Put your eyes at the men. Go here. 258, 587. The Q1 here. I have 11, huh? So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. isolate 2 3 4 5 صح. So this is my upper, this is my lower set of data. So the middle of the lower, the middle of the upper صحيح. So Q1 is 333, Q2 is 420, and Q3 is 495. Okay, so now I'm ready to do my boxes صح. I have all the data in for the women. I'm ready to do my box plot. Here already they found the answers for the Q1 and Q3. The thing is I'm trying to compare here, huh? I'm trying to compare. So when I draw a line, the line is a shared line. So they notice it's up to you what type of divisions you are trying to do here. It's fine, but the minimum you will need is 160, the maximum is 610. So they do it like 160, 320, 480, and 640. It's up to you. You can do it like 100, 150 if you want to, 200, 250, and so on. So for the women, the minimum is here 2 to 1, and the maximum is 510. This is the Q1 of the women, which is 303. We are trying accurately to find it. We cannot find it exactly. And this is the Q3, which is 435.5. The same thing for the men. Now what's the idea here? The idea, I'm trying to compare. I know I'm growing more, I'm growing up once I move to the right. Yeah, my idea to compare. What can you see from the two boxes that we have here? The box of the men is to the right, صح? Yeah. So the box of the men go more to the right, which means that the earning of the men is more than the earning of the women. So this is the idea of the compare here. We'll find the minimum, the maximum, Q1, Q3. Do the box plot on the same graph to check which one of them go more to the right, to know which one of them is higher. Well, you should, yeah, the men is bigger. You should draw it whenever they ask you to do. As you can see, when you go back to the question, what did they ask in part A of the question? Draw an accurate diagram of box plot. To be honest with you, I never saw a question similar to this for exams. But let's know it just in case they bring something similar to that. Okay? Any choice, yeah, any choice of the division of the line here, but what I care about is the spaces between the things is correct. يعني 200 is here, 300 is here, 400 is here, 500 is here, صح? Okay? Yeah, we have finished. We have finished actually, we are done. Next lecture at 6 p.m. Next lecture is not gonna be as much easy as this one, okay? But I want you to read the lecture. You are welcome. I'm glad that you found it easy. I'm very happy. Next time I want you to come about after reading the lecture, okay? Next time we will start with the probability. So a little bit difficult, much difficult than this one. Again, it's easy. Once we are done, you will find it easy. But I want you to read the lecture before you come. Okay? If you try to find the slide, the slides are the same as the one that we have last semester. If you don't have them, just send me an email. I'm gonna send it to you. Okay, the system is still off, under maintenance, so I cannot send it now to you. This is my email. Here is my email. Well, the attendance, I'm gonna consider all of you attendant. I don't think anybody is absent. يا طالباتي ال M130 اللي في الدمام أنا موجودة just send me an email وخلاص ما في إشكالية. أوكي ايوه بالضبط سامية next lecture from 6 to 8. yeah, you are correct. هذا ايميلي. if you want anything send me an email. I will send to you material or whatever. okay Samer, I'm gonna save the files and send to you. it's fine, I'm gonna save them now.